everybody.
Oh.
I loved it.
Even when you were
Okay.
when you was in Virginia, how old were you?
Really young.
6.
No, I was in middle school.
Really?
Yeah. But that wasn't when I left middle school. I had like 30-something partners. Man, I took off in high school. I would drive to Notre Dame. I would drive. Those are like colleges. IU. Man, all of them. And I would just fuck everybody.
So all
What
these
the
guys were from
fuck?
Detroit.
Why I think women are worse nowadays is we're bailed out. We are paid to leave marriages and we're paid to be single mothers. If you pay someone to do something, they're going to do more of it.
They don't fear consequence.
Yeah, and so when women, like
I'm
men,
sure
and if men were paid to be single fathers, I'm sure there would be more.
What?
And so what happens is women, like, again, how do most relationships start? Situationships, and girls want to get the kid from the guy, and they want to get there's whole Reddit threads of women trying to figure out how to get a guy, get a guy's kid. And even this has been on national TV. This is how big this problem is. And it's because when women get on birth control, they say they're off of it, or they get in that situation because they want to get the top 20% of men.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a long-awaited new edition of Watching Mouth Podcast. Today I have a special guest with me. She goes by the name of Amy, and she'll be here shortly. But a lot has happened since the last time I shot a show. I believe the last time I had a panel of guests. All three ladies are doing well. Natasha's doing good. I believe Gabby is about to she's expecting a new baby. There she is. She's joining us right now. How you doing, Amy? Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
You can hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay. All right. Lovely background. Lovely background. How are you today?
I'm wonderful. It's another day, so I'm grateful. How are you?
I'm pretty good. I had some technical difficulties over here. For some reason, I had to restart my entire Zoom. I had to get the lighting right. I was like, oh my God, it's been so long since I've been podcasting. I had to get my little setup right. So I apologize for the delay. How are you today?
I'm well. No apologies. I mean, I understand as a fellow podcaster, some things come unexpected, so you just can't determine, but hey, always be prepared at all times.
Absolutely. So we had a topic that we wanted to discuss today. We had a young lady make some very harsh, would I say harsh comments, or would you say truthful, or what?
With her, I think it was more truthful. Like, she's blunt. I would say blunt. So I wouldn't say harsh. But oftentimes when you say something that's more bold, a lot of people can't handle it. So, but she wasn't wrong. So we're going to get into that, of what she was talking about. Mm-hmm.
All right. So usually I kind of take the lead, and, I kind of say, what's on my mind and lead everything. But you took special interest to this particular topic, and so I think I'm gonna let you run with it today. I'm gonna let you lead it today.
Okay. So what we're talking about is something that's actually been going on for a while, but it's also a touchy subject. So I want to let you guys know that this is a disclaimer. This is no discrimination against anybody. This is just the truth of what's going on. So this young lady was basically mentioning about having children and stuff like that. Some people put their baby father on child support. Some people go through divorce or whatever like that. So she's basically saying the child is your money bag with that. So, a lot of people wouldn't agree to it because they feel like, okay, women of color, they feel like the guy should be there, right? Mm-hmm. They feel like it's not about the money, but it's about time spent with your child, or, you know what I'm saying? We both made this child. But what she was saying is that really, if you think about it, it really is a money scheme. You know what I'm saying? Because I mean, some women do have a child to trap a man. Some women have a child to make money. There's a lot of surrogates out there, and some women. I don't want to ramble on, so you could stop me because I could just ramble it. But some women prefer to have the baby and not the man.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I saw the clip, and I'm not going to play the clip right now, but I'm going to place the clip in the beginning so everyone will have context once I go ahead and edit the video. But yeah, it's definitely a lot of different women that have children for different reasons. What I've seen locally and recently here is that Black men specifically, because I can't speak for other communities, I'm not privy to them, but Black men and Black women, lately there has been kind of a shift away from each other, kind of, sort of, and I think everybody's kind of doing their own thing, and sadly a lot of times children are becoming the collateral. Just recently, I have seen 3 of my high school classmates. They've gotten married, so it's not a one size fits all situation. But sadly, what happens when we have these situationships that turn into relationships that weren't really built on any solid foundation, and then here we have children that become of it, you know, and I'm speaking from experience because I'm not married to my child's mother, right? We co-parent the best that we can with my daughter, and so I just know that, you know, in some communities, when a child is begotten from a relationship, even if it's not planned, there seems to be a situation where there's more emphasis on the child being here rather than the family unit being together, if that makes any sense. And it's unfortunate for the child, because the child is going to grow up and ask, okay, why is my mommy not here with my daddy? Why is mommy with Mr. such and such? Why is daddy with Miss such and such? Why aren't mommy and daddy together? And I've had to answer that question a couple of times, and it's not easy. And so when I heard her say that, you know, there's so many different layers to this subject. First of all, I'm in Georgia, right? So hypothetically speaking, you and I are together, you become pregnant, you have the child. There's nothing I can say about that. I can't tell you, hey, listen, don't have the child. I can say what I want, but ultimately you have the right to whatever you want to do with the pregnancy, right? So in essence, men feel that we're only utilities, because if we get you pregnant, we don't have any rights. The only rights we have is to pay for a child. And now they're trying to retroactive date you being pregnant to my financial responsibility, meaning not only do I have no rights to that child unless I get legitimized, I literally have to pay you back child support from the day of conception. So it's like, I mean, I'm preaching vasectomy. I'm preaching vasectomy to everybody. I'm preaching because I'm like, listen, if you want to run around here being reckless, you know, with your sex, you definitely can cost yourself a good future. And so I think that men need to be more responsible. But I can go on and on because, I mean, I'm passionate about the subject because I'm one of the fathers that are active in my child's life. And so I won't take no for an answer when it comes to that regard. But when I hear women say that, you know, they only want to sleep with men for the child and then, you know, get the hell on and then make money off of it, I think that's despicable, because your child is going to be here forever, you know, or at least for a lifetime at the very least. You know what I mean? So I feel like they are the ones that suffer the most when we are having these battle of the sexes games. But
Honestly, I don't think a woman just, I just specifically, okay, relationship wise, if she's into that guy, I don't think she just say, I just want a baby by you and I don't want you. Oftentimes, some women keep the baby away from the man because they're like, I don't want to be in a relationship anymore. So if the man say he don't want to be in a relationship no more, they was like, okay, bet you ain't gonna see your baby no more and stuff like that. But some men cut off their relationship themselves, including with the child. So if you guys are not together, then they stop speaking to their children. They stop being involved in their children's life if the woman is not involved. So it's a two-sided street with that. It's like a two-sided lane right there, because some men do it just like how some women do it too. They're like, okay, you ain't gonna be with me, so I don't want no involvement with the child. Some men can be very petty in that area too. So it's not just women, you know what I'm saying? It's a two-way street with that, and some people become vengeful. So I'm just like, hey, you don't want to be with me, you don't get to see your child, does it make it right? No. Or I'm going to put you on child support. Does it make it right? No. Child support was not designed to hold it over the man's head. It's specifically designed to take care of the child, but some people abuse that privilege, you know what I'm saying? And sometimes the innocent suffer, unfortunately.
Yeah. It's sad because I mean, we're talking right now, I'm speaking about the common man, right? I'm talking about the UPS worker, the FedEx guy. You know, the average black man makes right around $40,000 a year. That's roughly around $20 an hour, maybe $19.50 an hour if you're an hourly worker. And so it could be devastating to get, 25%, taken out of your check. You know what I mean? Due to inflation, due to high rental costs, because a lot of people are not able to, purchase homes these days. So, when you factor in rent, you factor in groceries, and then you factor in childcare costs, especially if you're on child support, that's just another bill. Now, granted, if you're not, I look at it like this, right? Because child support is such a touchy subject, right? And I'm not here to disrespect any woman that has full custody over their children, that are doing both jobs and playing both roles of the mother and the father the best that they can to provide for the child, right? If you're not going to be in your child's life and you've written them off, you know what, me and the mom are not together, so screw her and screw the child. Just pay up, bro. Pay what you weigh. Pay whatever you owe, and then it is what it is at that point. Hopefully, she can find someone, a male figure that is positive, that can be in a child's life. But for someone like me, right, who's active, who has his daughter on a regular basis, who purchase clothes, purchase food, purchase whatever the child needs. Child support to me would be an unfair bill because I'm already providing for my child, and I feel like I can speak for all of the active fathers that are not in relationships with their mother, with the child's mother, that child support would be unfair, simply because, it's hard enough to make a living as it is. And as you may know, it's not about how much you make, it's about how much you keep, right? And how much you can circulate and flip and so on and so forth. So when you're spending up to 25% of your check, right? Then we talk about, not having your license. If not having your driver's license. I watched a family member of mine deal with child support related stress and depression, right, for a little bit over 19 years, right? And it got up until maybe 40, 50,000 of back child support. He finally paid it off. And it wasn't until his child's mother got the very last check before she said, hey, would you like to have a relationship with your daughter? And I thought to myself, I thought about that. And I told him, I said, yes, tell her yes, it is what it is. That's water under the bridge, right? Like, you always want a relationship at the end of the day because you have grandchildren at this point or a grandchild at this point, right? But I thought about it. I thought about the control. I thought about the power, you know what I mean, that is associated with that, right? Mm-hmm. A woman telling you, I have the ability to monetize your custody with your child. And especially in Atlanta, I mean, I think that's too much power. I feel like if I'm able to be responsible for the child as soon as you get conception, then I should be able to have rights as soon as we can determine paternity, right? I feel like men think immediately, as soon as this woman is pregnant and we're not married, I'm going to be on child support. And 9 times out of 10, when you get legitimized, that's what happens. And so many men are hesitant on doing that. But I would urge all men to do that, because if you don't get legitimized, you can't legally pass anything on to your children, regardless of how many checks you sent over to the baby mother, regardless of, you know, you pick them up on the weekends and so on and so forth. If you don't get legitimized, you can't they can't legally inherit anything from you, and vice versa. So, you know, and that's something that I learned just doing research. So when we start talking about maliciously procreating for the sake of monetizing custody, that's a man. I mean, I'm trying to keep from cursing here, but that's some bullshit, man. I mean, I can't lie to you, because, you know, especially when we talking, that she was talking about, there was a Reddit. She said there was a Reddit page, a forum that gives women step-by-step instructions about how to get impregnated by the top 20% of men to procreate for monetization.
That's been out for a while, though. I mean, those of us that do our research, you know, that's been out for like a couple of years now. So it's more like top-notch women, which make a lot of money. Those are the women that actually found that out. But you can actually, they give you a list of how much a man is making, what area to go to, and all that stuff like that. How you find a good father.
That's crazy. What area to go to?
So they give you the whole list. So it's nothing new if you do your research, but a lot of women don't know. So that's just like the top-notch women that know that. But to the women that just have a baby to trap a guy, I think a baby don't keep a man. You know, I ain't trying to be hood and talk like that, but to keep the man, you get pregnant, so that's on you. Because at the end of the day, you still have to take care of that child. And at the end of the day, he can still leave. You know what I'm saying? So to do that, I think I blame the woman on that, because some women do that to keep a relationship or to keep that dude. You know,
let me ask you a question. Do you think it's an age thing? Do you think it's the younger girls that are trying to get pregnant and get kept by one of these successful entertainer dudes or something like that? Or do you think it's, you know, people around our age who are trying to get, you know, one of those executive or Wall Street guys? Or is it a combination of both?
The younger generation after us, they actually don't do that. They're about their business. They built their career at a young age. They're actually a lot smarter. It's our brackets, like in the 30s. Oh, what it is with our generation, but they really want to get pregnant by whoever is making money for the image and stuff like that. I was just like, the younger generation is kind of smarter. Like, they're not about to get pregnant young. No, they're trying to meet their career goal and stuff like that, be young and live and start a family, you know. It's just us. But our, you know, thinking like that. So I think that happens. So
you feel like it's the older millennials who are, she said, yeah. You said that like it was nothing.
It is. And I'm just like, Well, I don't want to tell everybody business, but I know the ins and out of it. So, I mean, with my generation, they will have them a sugar daddy. Some of them, he's not their sugar daddy, but they will really like, okay, I met this guy. He owns this company. I already profiled him. I know what he do, how much he make. I know where he live. Like some women will already find that out before they actually speak to the person.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, they do their research.
Okay. Well, I mean, it's a dirty game. It's a dirty game, right? Everybody should like practice safe sex and so on and so forth. And if not, at least be sexing someone who you wouldn't mind procreating with if it came to that, right? Because we're looking at a situation where there's such a disconnect, man. It's such a disconnect. Every time I turn around, I'm hearing men talk about how, you know, women only want them for their money, whether they got 10,000 or they got 10 million. They always saying men only want them for their money. Women are saying that men only want them for their sex. Men are not being men anymore. Men are not leading, protecting, and providing anymore. And the byproduct of that is having children with people that you have the least amount of confidence in. And, you know, that's unfortunate, you know, because, you know, for me not to see you as a viable mate, as a black woman coming from a black man, that's a failure within our generation. I'm supposed to look at you and see more than, you know, a pretty face. I'm supposed to look at you and see a future. I'm supposed to look at you and see inspiration and see admiration. Like, oh my God, this woman has the capability of inspiring me to go places I never thought I would go, right? But we don't see that. When we see women, we see liabilities most of the time. It's like, you know what? I ain't gonna even let this girl knock me off my square. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna let her distract me from a position that I built myself up to. Because I've been on both sides. I've been the scrub. I've been riding on the passenger side of my homeboy Cadillac, hollering at him out the window. Yep, that was me. You know, but I mean, hell, we was in our 20s. We were just trying to figure this shit out. You know, I come from the generation, you know, right after T.I. was popular. I came after the generation, you know, Young Jeezy, you know, when he came up. We graduated 2006. So you talking about, you know, from 2006 to, you know, 2016, you know, that's just, you know, a long 10-year span of just trying to figure shit out, you know, and in that span, we went through a recession. You know, we went through multiple mass shootings. We went through unarmed black men getting killed. We went through the further separation of the black woman and the black man, right? Then we start having children of our own. We start trying to figure out what it meant to be a man in today's society and still be in a position to kind of hold the head of household, even though, you know, they were kind of giving our women more opportunities than they were giving us on purpose, you know. And some of that is an excuse, right? Some of that is an excuse because a lot of black women were going to school, staying in school, becoming nurses, becoming business majors, becoming heads of financial companies and stuff. And the men kind of sort of was, you know, just trying to take what we could get, right? And then when you're not intentional about your future, you can tell once you get to a certain point. So I had to get serious about my future. And when you meet someone, when I met my child's mom, I was still trying to find myself. You know what I mean? I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. I was codependent. I wasn't focused. I was nowhere near a father. And then when my child was born and we broke up, it put me in a position to like, okay, what are you gonna do now? You got two choices. You know, you can go back to your mom's house, be a fuckboy, or you can start climbing up that mountain and see what's at the top. No one knows. It's gonna be hard, but what other choice do you have? And of course, I didn't go back to my mom. I made something of myself. But in doing so, it seems like when I came out on the other side, the caliber of women kind of changed. It's like women changed from 2016 to 2020. It's like women changed, man. It's like I was getting beautiful, educated, respectful, marriage-minded women when I didn't have shit. I make this joke all the time, right? I want to find a wife. I'm going to quit my job. I'll be married in 30 days. My homeboy busted out laughing. I said, man, I'm serious. I'm serious.
Not to cut you off, but with our generation, we're like right here where we're breaking, but also creating something new or breaking a cycle. This is our generation right here. Old habits, what our parents or their grandparents or their parents have done. So it's like we're trying to break that cycle. But in the process of breaking that cycle, we're also creating something new. So it's like, but when we're trying to create something new, it can hinder us in a way because now women of color, we're known to be strong. So now we're trying to be independent, and now we don't want to be dependent on you because why? We don't want to ask you for anything. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, we have our issues, but we're the first one to support you. We're the first one where everybody is relying on us, and they will call us the low end of the bar. Isn't that something? But we're the first one to jump to your defense. So now we saying we want to break that cycle. We want to have our own. We want to be educated. We want to make sure that we're taken care of so we don't have to rely on nobody. But that can hinder us because now we're the man and the woman of that relationship. You know what I'm saying? And it's kind of tough to actually let you in because we don't want to be broken. We tired of being strong for y'all and all that stuff like that. So it can hinder us. And I said, there's too many single family households and not enough family. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I think we need to, we don't need to really get rid of the old ways when it comes to family. Mm-hmm. Like, need family. That's something we don't need to forget. Like, I'm a little bit old school. I prefer that you be married to your soulmate, and then have a child with that person. That's just me. But if you have kids, at least create this something where they can have this family. I can rely on that man, or I can rely on who's not my mom. We need families. Like, everybody trying to be independent, and everybody becoming broken, and it's just like crazy. So now the government steps in. Now the government is our baby daddy. What? Y'all better wake up. It's me. It's not me against him or her. It's the government against the government taking control. But anyway, I'm not gonna get really into that. But you gotta know.
I mean, that's true, right? Because I mean, and that's what the white lady was saying in the video. She was saying, like, you know, if men were getting paid to be single fathers, they'd probably be doing it too. I mean, I would definitely say maybe a lot more of us would be doing it, but see, we underestimate the needs that children have on a constant basis. And we're talking about, you know, healthy, you know, normal children, let alone if your child has any type of disability, mentally or, you know, health-wise, if your child is, you know, disabled, has a wheelchair, you know, child is blind or deaf, or like I've seen women sacrifice their entire life. Ain't no dating, ain't no optimum career. It's just my child needs me and this is what it is. You know what I mean? And I said this in a Zoom call at my job, right? My manager was like, my husband values his car. And she was like, his car is always clean and shiny and mine is dirty and stuff like that. I said, you know why? She said, no, please tell me. I really want to know why. I said, because you guys can give birth, right? So you place your value in people because you literally grow a whole human being inside of you and give birth to it. So you have a connection with people that we don't. I said, we're not able to do that. The only thing that we can do that matches that feeling is to build something and worship it. So when we customize these cars, when we build these houses, when we build these additions to the homes, and we spend so much time on the paint, on the trim, we spend so much time, on the interior, on the sound system, wax on, wax off, it's because we can't give birth, but we can build things, and we worship the things that we build. And so I say all that to say, we've definitely made it to a point in our society where the children are neglected the most because we're not putting enough emphasis on the family structure, so they don't have much of a foundation, and it's unfortunate. I saw the other day, a dude, a little young dude, it went viral. He's sitting in the class, and guess what he decides to do? He just take a blunt out of his pocket and fire the shit up right in the class. And he looked while the teacher behind her back fired the shit up, hit it, and his classmate is right behind him filming this shit. And it's like the children are growing up to be addicted to clout. It's not even about getting money. It's not being the baddest nigga in the land. Like when we was growing up, it was like get money and be the toughest nigga in the streets. That's what was, you know what I mean? That's what was cool. Nowadays, going viral is more important than having money. Going viral is more important than being the toughest nigga out here. Going viral is more important than being smart. You know what I mean? And I understand where they're coming from, because if you go viral, hell, you can monetize that virality, and now all of a sudden, you're getting club performances, right? Appearances. I mean, you getting club appearances, you getting event appearances, you getting endorsements. People calling you up and saying, "Hey, I'll pay you 10 grand for you to hold this up in your next Instagram post." And you did something stupid. It could have got you killed. It could have got you sent to jail for life. It could have got you banished. That dude is gonna get expelled. He's someone's son. He's actually one of our sons, because if he's in high school now, he's a child of a millennial. You know what I mean? So, I mean, the children are suffering the most. I guess my question to you is, where do we go from here?
It's gonna take a lot of work. It's gonna take a lot of pain. One thing I will say, when I had my son's 11 years old, but when I had him, it was always in my mind to be able to teach him myself. And mind you, before I had him, I was always on a regular job with other kids, whatever, a teacher. But it's something about carrying a child. In my mind, I want something different. So I was sharing with my peers, like, I want to teach my son myself. I don't want him to be in public school. So I decided to homeschool him, but they was like, put him in public school. He need to be social, but it was in my mind for a reason to be hands-on with him, right? So I have to literally, I don't care what job you're working, I don't care what you're doing, don't be too busy for your kids. Be in your children's life. It's so easy to drop them off. It's so easy. What you got to do what's best for your kids. That's all I'm going to say. Like, be patient with them. Be hands-on with them. Stop letting the system raise them. You know what I'm saying? You got to be their parent. The government been their parent for all our lives. They've been raising us from the time we went to school. You know what I'm saying? But that's another subject. Be hands-on with your kids. That's all I'm telling you.
Be hands-on with your kids. I'll say, men, be more intentional about who you're sleeping with, because, I mean, yeah, your woman can be on birth control. She can get a hysterectomy and so on and so forth. But ultimately, I feel like the man is the ultimate form of birth control, because you can't ejaculate without being hard. You can control being hard. And so if you didn't go up in her, you know what I mean, there is no child. You know what I mean? She can't steal the sperm from you, right? So of course women are to blame and have some form of blame as well, right? But I'm putting the initial blame on the man, because it's like, it's hard being a man, because we have this testosterone. That shit is constantly in your mind, like, hey, when you gonna get some pussy? It's like, dude, I'm trying to do my work here. I'm trying to write these reports. You know, I'm trying. Yeah. Nigga, I know when you gonna get some pussy. You know what I'm saying? It's always in the back of your mind, and so you know we have to be strong enough to kind of tailor that and put ourselves in a position to deviate from being a slave to our own sexual desires, right? And if you are going to exercise those desires, my motto is I won't sleep with a woman who I'd be mad if she told me she was pregnant. You know, personally, I don't want any more children, so I'm going to get upset at me. But, you know, in the meantime, I still wouldn't sleep with a woman. Like, I wouldn't deal with a woman who gets on my nerves and is utterly like repulsive just because she has a fat ass. And now she's pregnant, she has all the rights, we're not married, she can do whatever she wants, and I have to deal with her for the rest of my life in regards to her being my child's mother, simply because of 1.5 hours of joy. And usually it's not even that long. You're risking your whole life for 35-40 minutes of pleasure when you could have kind of did something else, right? So to all the women out there that have children, that are single mothers, that are doing a great job, wholeheartedly from me and all the men like me, we appreciate you. We appreciate the time you spend. We appreciate the sacrifices you made. We appreciate the meals you put together. We appreciate the Christmases that you gave us that came out of nowhere. And we're like, damn, mama, I know these shoes cost $150. Where you getting that from? You know what I mean? And you don't know mama been eating crackers and cheese for the last week. You know what I'm saying? The last pay period's been kind of slow. She been on a fasting diet. Mama been fasting. You wonder why she been fasting? Because you keep watching these other niggas get these Jordans. Nigga, you don't need no Jordans. You could have got the regular old Nikes, but you wanted the J's. You wanted the 250 J's. You had to have them. So, we appreciate y'all. And to the mothers that aren't doing so well, there are a lot of resources out there, a lot of support groups out there. A lot of people that are standing in your corner to kind of like, be there for you and for your children to help you get in the right direction. To all the men that's out there doing right by their children, we commend you. It's not easy kind of pushing forward, even though you don't have a good relationship with your child's mom, but you're still being there for your child. We appreciate that. We appreciate all the long hours you put in and you tired, and then you come home and they jump on your stomach and say, daddy, 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 and you still play hide and seek with them. We appreciate all of that, all the money you spend, all the time we get. We don't get nothing but a big piece of chicken for Father's Day, but hey, we appreciate that. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? We appreciate that. And to the guys who are not doing so well with their children, make an effort, man, because you're going to get old and you're going to wish you had a relationship with your child, regardless of the relationship with her mom. You're going to wish one day that, because that's your child, man, that's your DNA, and she or he is walking around, looking just like you, man. And, I always remember that song from Jay-Z where the dude had a child, meet the parents, had a son, had no idea. And he was at the liquor store one day, bumped into him. The dude mean-mugged him. He mean-mugged him. The old school guy, the dad pulled his gun out, was about to shoot him, but when he looked at him, he saw himself in the man and realized that was his son. His son didn't know the dude, didn't hesitate, shot himself. Shot not himself, but shot his dad. So that's one of the most prolific, stories that I've ever heard when it comes to that. And I didn't grow up with my dad, but me and him patched everything up. And you think he raised me at this point. And I think it's important. That's the most important thing as a man you can do is make sure that you are in your child's life. So you're leaving a legacy that says that my dad loved me. And, hell, my mom loved me. My parents loved me, whether they were together or not. So this has been another episode of Watch Your Mouth Podcast. I appreciate everybody for tuning in, and my special guest, Miss Purpose Driven Amy. Please tell them where they can find you on your social media.
Well, I go by Purpose Amy on Facebook, as well as Purpose Driven _ Amy on Instagram. Also, Purpose Shift Amy on YouTube, where we go live weekly every Wednesday for all the ladies, single moms, women. It's more of a women coming together type of thing. So you can check it out. You can get in contact with me. You can inbox me, and I'm open to connecting with each and every one of you.
Again, I'm Johnny Deck. I go by Johnny Deck. I'm on all platforms as Johnny Deck, Facebook, even Instagram is Johnny Deck Music. And we appreciate you guys tuning in. I'm going to do my best to make sure that I come out with new episodes at least once or twice a month, okay? You guys have a good one until next time.
Bye.
What is thug maxing in regards to a black man and his dating life? Like, what does that mean?
Lil Durk, King Von, y'all know. But nah, dating life, I would say the closer you fit to whatever the celebrity, the current rappers, like I said, Lil Durk, what's the other dude? Quando Rondo, all those dudes. The closer you fit to what that stereotype, you like some girls will be, they'll just be down, especially black chicks.
I was about to say,
they like that shit, bro.
I think that mostly attracts black chicks.
I don't know what it is, bro, but they like that. They don't like when a dude has it together. I don't
clean cut look.
Yeah, bro, and I don't want to say that because it sounds like I'm trying to bash. I'm not bashing black women, but it just is what it is.
Yeah,
that's been my experience. I attract the most Latinas and white girls. That's what I attract.
Yeah, same. I think because I had that professional, clean cut R&B type of look, that's why I also mostly attract Hispanic and white women. And you guys be in the comments like, do you not like black women? I'm like, black women don't like me. Like black women don't.
In this world, you get what you go where you really want it.
Yeah,
wherever you want it, that's where you go.
I attract. I don't chase.
Yeah, dude.
So I attract. You know what's into me now.